The Busker Fest itself, was. Let me start it again so you can understand. The Busker Fest itself is a festival to honor and display the tradition of street performing. It's the second oldest profession in the world. Some of the best street performers in the entire world, certainly from North America and some from Europe, were here. It was free and open entertainment to the public. The word on the street was just bubbling. We couldn't have had a better reaction with open busking on the street. An event like this can bring almost any city back in touch with the untapped cultural value that they have within their own community. There's this value of street performing is everywhere. It's just that some towns have not really tapped their resources on it and maybe haven't had the streets open for a while. The idea behind this festival is two purposes. One, it was to celebrate the art form and to honor it, and the other was to promote it. We invited a lot of other communities here for the purpose of letting them see what we were doing, letting them feel, letting them experience how incredible street performing can be when it sparkles, when the best are out there, when it's allowed to flourish, and when it's given a little promotion to get it along.
And so it was not only the best of the local, but it was also a number of international acts.
Oh yes, most definitely. We had people here from Paris, from Amsterdam, from Japan, from several from Canada, and all over North America. We had the best from the East Coast, from the Boston, New York area. We had the three deans, or dons as it were, from the San Francisco area. We had people coming from New Orleans, all through the Midwest. It was a wonderful festival, well attended both by performers and the public, the general public.
And do you want to say a little bit about busking in general?
What is a busker? Okay.
In terms of differentiating for people who don't know what busking is at the front.
Well, you see, all theater started in the street. God knows what it was called before, but around the 16th century or so, the English had these floppy hats that they even had straps on the bottom, and they kind of kept all their worldly belongings in them and strapped them on like almost backpacks, and that was called a busker. And somewhere along the way, that got to be just the natural slang for people that made their living out of their hats, and so hence the term busker. It's a term that's just catching on now in the United States. It's been used widely in Europe for centuries, as I said, and as is the difference between busking in Europe and the United States. It's been a staple on the streets in most of the rest of the world for recorded history. Busking it seems that in the last 50 years or so, busking or street performing has not received quite its full share of respect in American theater.
Since television and other...
Yeah, since media now has become highly dictative of what's happening in the entertainment industry, even drawing off the marvel of vaudeville that we used to have. Street performing, as such, has suffered in its support by the rest of the theatrical community. I would say it's termed more of the illegitimate cousin of theater. I think that those days are about over. Street performers now, the quality of street performing in the United States is rising to levels it's never been to before because of the redevelopment of the inner city, because of the opening of the streets again, because busking itself as a profession is experiencing a revival right now.
And for myself, I find busking, very refreshing for a number of reasons. One thing, it's sort of an all-family entertainment that, doesn't exclude, it's not like the children are watching one program and the adults are watching something else. They go out and watch it together, and it's also participatory, as opposed to watching it at home on television where you're sort of separated from life.
I agree with you.
And when you're out in the street, and you're the busker, at least many I've seen, pull you into the act and make you part of it.
Well, that's the jewel of it. It's live and it's spontaneous. guess that's all on that.
Now, do you want to?
Busking is, are we rolling?
Yeah.
I'm on. Because busking is such a, it has been an unknown strata to some extent. People don't understand it in the United States. I think because, not because of any reason other than maybe a lack of communication. It has not been promoted. The streets have been turned primarily to the use of automobiles and away from the pedestrian traffic that they once were. And as I said, I think that trend is starting to reverse itself now. We're having a rebirth of street theater. It used to be, and if you talk to any of the veterans, I've been working 10, 15 years now, it used to be that there was no place to learn. If you wanted to work the street, it was the school of hard knocks. That was it. You learned by your mistakes. There was nobody to turn to and ask them. Now, we're starting to get a layer of veterans who are giving workshops, who are passing along the tips, and if someone wants to learn how to work the street and learn a little more about crowd psychology or maybe technique of crowd control, they have somebody to go to. They have a place to ask. We have a pool of information now about not only technique but legalities of history. We have come to the point where maybe for the first time in history we're making a serious attempt to document street performing.
Great.
Hi, I'm George Pence. I'm the owner of the Hibiscus Motel in Key West, Florida. Welcome to both. Welcome to Key West. Today is January the 20th. Sunny and 80 degrees outside. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm happy to have been a participating sponsor of Buster Fest. It's a new type of fair that we've held in Key West, very successful, might I add. Performers from all over the world were brought here to our beautiful little city at the end of the United States, the southernmost city. And I must say I'm proud to have been part of that event. We think, I and the merchants of the area, the rest of the motel owners, we've had a very successful weekend. Our rooms were pretty well filled. Whether it's all attributable to the presence of the Buster Fest, I'm not sure, but I know quite a bit of it was directly related. We hope to have them again on an annual basis and hope this will be something for other cities to consider too. Thanks so much. Please join us sometime in Key West.